Gator, look. Son, I don't hook these chicks. I don't hustle these chicks. I damn sure don't go out on the street and drag them in here. And they come in here to pay for that habit they got.
Well, there's money and there's money, Bama.
Yeah. I didn't make the world the way it was, Gator.
No, you just collect off it.
Well, now, look, son, they had a man before me, and they're gonna have a man after me, right? Hey, come here, miss. Come here, son, I'll show you something. You don't love that, huh? Sit down. Huh? How's your old man doing? Fine. How old is Stevie now?
74.
74, he's 74. Well, he's about lived this 70, ain't he? Like the Bible said. Pretty soon he's gonna be gone. Gonna be dead. Now, in the meantime, what you can hold in your hand, you got some. And what you can taste, you got. And all the poontang you get, well, that's yours, see? Can't nobody take that away from you. I hate to be one to tell you this, but everybody out there, everybody's a taker. I mean it from the top, son, to the bottom, they're all takers. And you have got to reach out there and you got to take it. Because if you don't, then somebody's going to reach out there like that and they're going to take you.
Hello, folks. Welcome once again to the Sin Beef Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Gary Hill. With me tonight is not the usual people, but somebody who I enjoy his company very much. He is celebrating 13 years of the After Movie Diner. 14 if you count the blog, 14. But Mr. John Cross, how you doing, sir?
I am not the usual people, sir. That is exactly who I am not. I am doing fantastically well, sir. How are you?
You are my people, and that's what matters, that you're here. See,
Indeed. We are each other's peeps. We go the ways back.
I'm doing okay though. I'm
Good.
here at
Glad to hear it, sir.
On a Thursday night, and it's like 75 degrees in Indiana, which is ridiculous for July. I love it so much though. I think
it's a nice mellow evening here as well. The humidity has dropped. We've got some nice mellow temperatures of 70 degrees. I was out on my deck earlier grilling some pork chops, sir.
Nice.
Yes.
We'll start the show like we always do. I'll ask my friend John here what he's been watching lately.
Well, I have been watching all sorts of mad stuff, Dr. Hill. Obviously, I, like everybody else in the lead up to our nation's holiday, had to get in some Beverly Hills Cop 3 and 4 back to back. Very happy about Axel F. I'm sure you've already talked about it, but it was so much better than I had any hope for.
Yeah, I think I have on the podcast itself. So this will be new territory for me to talk about. And I was like you, very excited to see it and very happy. I mean, I am happy from the trailer. I enjoy old man John Ashton, Taggart doing his thing, and
oh yeah, when he pumps that shotgun, you fist pump in the air, my friend. You are ready to pump in other ways as well.
No, very very well made. It was there. It was a revival film for all the right reasons, and I think he wants to make more. So you might get more Axel F and maybe some Taggart or more Billy Rosewood in it. But
yeah.
Hopefully see Daughter Foley and my boy Joseph Gordon-Levitt doing more things in the movie, which is my own really real gripe about the movie is that the young bucks didn't get a big chance to shine as much as But I know this is their first time back, so it's not really a complaint at all. It's just like I hope in the next one like they intermix them more into their doings and
Yeah,
more action sequences. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Definitely. But I have to say, just in general, so often you'll watch one of these revivals and they try and tickle the nostalgia bone, and you're like, nope, it ain't working. I'm sorry, you've over egged that memory pudding or whatever, And then this one started out, and you've got the, you know, the song playing, and he's driving through Detroit and the whole bit. And rather than being like, oh, you're tugging on my nostalgic heartstrings, I just thought, no, this is Beverly Hills Cop. Like, this is Beverly Hills Cop. Like, everything about that just made me warm and fuzzy. So they got me within the first, like, 5 minutes. They've got me. And then once he went to Beverly Hills and all the old guys were coming back and stuff like that, it was a joy. But this is also coming from a guy who, a night before Axel F dropped on Netflix, watched Beverly Hills Cop 3, completely reevaluated it, and now think that it's wonderful. However, it's wonderful as a John Landis film, not a Beverly Hills Cop film. It's not a Beverly Hills Cop film, but it is a John Landis film in the way that he used to do it, with his twisted fucking sense of humor and his mad ultra-violence, and then his like weird slapstick Kentucky Fried Movie jokes in the middle. And that's Beverly Hills Cop 3, basically. It's a Landis movie, not a Beverly Hills Cop movie. But I reevaluated it as being a favorite now.
I will take that as a John Landis movie. I never had a problem with it, although it wasn't like as gritty as the first two, I guess you would call it, because they had like that tinge of like dirtiness to them. This was a lot more, fun loving. The comedy.
It is glossier, but what I hadn't remembered when I rewatched it is how many people die like violent deaths in that movie, like way more than in previous films. Like, there are people in that opening sequence in the chop shop, like gunned down repeatedly with like squibs and stuff going up. Like, it's pretty Landis uber violence for some of it. There's even a body rolls under a truck, I think, at one point, and you fucking like see it and stuff.
Al Leong included in that those killings in the
yes.
shop,
It was the last time Leong was really henching with the best of them. It was sort of his last hench role, I feel like.
He earned his spot in the top 10, though, of top 10 henchmen of all time, right there with good old Spinelli Thorson. And now Kevin Smith is doing his Chronicon here in November. Yeah. I'm hoping for Spinelli Thorson to show up with that damn thing. I'll be there with things, It's like,
I'm hoping it's going to be difficult to make Mallrats 2 now, which he had every plan to make. Now that dearly departed and very sad Shannon Doherty passing. Now, I don't know if she was set to return. I think she was back when he was trying to make it 10, 15 years ago. Maybe they talked, because I know they were on the podcast with each other, and maybe it was agreed upon that she wasn't going to come back for it, and therefore the new script that he's working from is still fine. I don't know. Have you heard anything on that front?
He's always good with the tributes, so even if she wasn't there, I'm sure they would do it and like honor her in such a way.
Of course. I know they were super close.
So if you don't watch Clerks 3 with me, it gets bad at the end, for me, because somebody's gonna die in Clerks 3, but then it hits you. Then like, I'm gonna need a minute, Yeah. So he knows how to do tributes pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, he does. Most definitely. And so I think that hopefully Mallrats 2 keeps going. But very sad losing Shannon Doherty like that. So Axel F, what a wonderful surprise. Warmed the cockles. This old bitter man who hates remakes, reboots, restarts, and everything, was proved wrong by the glory of Axel F. I enjoyed it no end. In fact, ever since I've seen it, I've wanted to watch it again, like almost immediately. So I might do that this weekend. All right. Following on from that, I watched Friday the 13th Part 3 in a hot tub, Gary. That was the pimpiest I've ever got in my entire life. The missus and I were upstate in the Catskills in New York the night before the Willie Nelson gig, because I went and saw Willie and Bob Dylan and Robert Plant, and it was phenomenal, man. What a gig. You can't beat Willie at 91, man. He's still kicking, still jamming. He's phenomenal. The night before, the Airbnb we were staying in, the little cabin place, had a hot tub out the back, Gary, with a 65-inch TV, flat screen TV, hanging over the hot tub. So it was a smart TV, so we were able to go on to Shudder or whatever. I forget what platform we watched it on. And Friday the 13th, Part 3, while sitting in a hot tub like a goddamn pimp.
When I found out a couple of conventions ago that one of the stuntmen that played Jason in that movie, I forget his name now, but he was the Rocketeer, because the only time Billy Campbell was a Rocketeer was when he had the helmet off. He gets a lot more beefier when he puts the helmet on.
Yeah.
Well, that was him doing all the Rocketeer stunts.
Nice, man.
Just more badass for me.
Such a good movie, man. The Rocketeer, man. Such a good movie. So yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 3 in a hot tub. Then I watched a movie. I don't know if you've heard of this one, but it's called The Evictors, and it's got Michael Parks and Suspiria woman, Phantom of the Paradise. What's her name? Shock Treatment takes over from Janet.
Harper.
Jessica Harper. Thank you, sir. Sorry, my brain is not what it was, and very often certain names just drop out of me. But anyway, so you can edit point here. I was watching this movie called The Evictors, which has Michael Parks and Jessica Harper in it. And it's sort of a weird kind of turn of last century American story of a supposedly haunted house that isn't haunted at all. There's just a slasher killer on the loose. And it's made by, I think, the guy who made the Town That Dreaded Sundown. And it definitely has that kind of vibe to it. It's very low key, very old feeling. But you've got Michael Parks, you've got Jessica Harper, you've got some decent death scenes. I'm not going to sing its praises too much, but it's worth 1.5 spins. You know what I mean?
See, I never really loved Town That Dreaded Sundown, but it does have one advantage. Has the only film I've ever seen where somebody gets killed with a trombone. So it's got.
Well, then, gosh darn it, Gary, if I don't have to go ahead and make the second movie where someone is killed with a trombone, because I need to make that movie. I forget
which one it was. Had somebody where they were killed with an umbrella. When it impaled them, the umbrella opened up and just sprayed blood everywhere. I forget what it was.
Yes, what is that movie? Which one is that? That's one of the
clown
movies.
That's a clown thing. Oh, it was Stitches? I think it was Stitches. Had a famous British or Scottish comedian as the killer, and I think it was Stitches.
Oh, I thought it was like Don't Open Till Christmas or something, or one of those.
This was like a modern movie, like a more modern movie. But Stitches is fun if you've never seen it before.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I've seen that death scene, so I'll have to figure out where. But The Evictors, as I say, worth half a spin on a wet afternoon. Then I caught up with an old Cillian Murphy movie. Sorry, from way back, Watching the Detectives. Cillian Murphy and Lucy Liu in Watching the Detectives. I believe it's written or directed by one of the guys behind like Beer Fest and is it the Lizard? What's the Broken Lizard guys? And it's sort of Clerks meets High Fidelity meets movies, because it's about a guy who runs a video store.
Okay.
And it has its moments, but it's not as, it was one of those movies, like whenever Kevin Smith says that he's not a good writer or not a good filmmaker or not a good director or not a good whatever, I always say shut the fuck up, because you watch a movie like Watching the Detectives and it has all the bits in it, but it just doesn't add up to a pleasing whole. Do you know what I mean? Like it has the odd scene where you go, okay, that's cute, but like in general, the movie doesn't hang together. So considering from day one, Kevin Smith's movies have hung together perfectly to the point where you understand the characters, you understand the plot, you understand the humor in it, you understand the locale, everything. Like it hangs together as movies. Well, when you see something like Watching the Detectives, which, like I say, has its moments, you just go, this is why Kevin Smith should stop saying he's not a good director, because he has craft where other people do not have craft.
Well, it's like you got your camp people, like Tarantino's got his camp, Kevin's got his camp. It's all about how they work together. I mentioned when Alan Arkin died that you could take a turd and put Alan Arkin in it, and he'll be gold in it, no matter what it is.
Yes.
He was gold in the Jerky Boys movie, and that's not a good movie, but he's good in it though.
Right.
But yeah, you get the right people, and they can churn, polish that what you think is a turd apparently, and Kevin Smith has a habit of coming down on himself a little too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I love his stuff. I just rewatched Yoga Hoses, and I have to say, I enjoyed it, dude. I enjoyed it. I've seen a shit ton worse movies than Yoga Hoses.
If you watch it for the camp, you're watching it for the right reasons. Put it that way, because it's just campy as hell.
It's campy as hell. It's silly as hell. It's childish as hell. However, the two female leads, who under any other circumstance would just be nepotism hires, in this case show themselves to be genuinely good actors, genuinely compelling actors. Because it's not often that a 44-year-old dude can sit down and watch two, 20-year-old girls twittering about TikTok or whatever and running around a convenience store doing poor Canadian accents and actually feel something. You know what I mean? A strong, decent emotion and connection with the two actors. So I give them all credit, and I enjoyed it.
They got a lot more what's right than what I hate about Ghost World, which people herald Ghost World as one of the best pieces of cinema of the early 2000s. I just don't think it's very good.
I enjoy it for the Buscemi of it all, but that's about it.
The Buscemi, the weirdness of that, but I think it has to be Thora Birch. I can't stand her. It's one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a whole series of shows of why I don't like Thora Birch. Just do. This is why she was a bitch in American Beauty. This is why she was a bitch in Hocus Pocus. I'm just gonna, even as a child, she had kind of that bitch factor to her.
So I'm just gonna lie back on my chaise longue and be like, okay, Gary, let's talk about it. Where did Thora Birch hurt you? Show me on the doll why Thora Birch is an annoying. Fuck.
Even as a child, you were fucking terrible, man. Come on now.
Gary Hill's therapy sessions on why he doesn't like Thora Birch, coming up soon on iHeartRadio.
Hey, this is why kids are soft now, John, because nobody tells them that they're not all the way special all the time. Okay.
Oh, is that Thora Birch's problem? Too much positivity.
That's children in general. Oh, my Johnny wouldn't burn down the garage. My Johnny is perfect. No, yeah, right. No, he's not, honey,
Johnny just checked a book out of the high school library on how to make bombs. So anyway, all right, I'll finish it up. We watched Shadow of Fear with James Spader, which is coming up on the After Movie Diner podcast next week. We have got, I watched Death Train, also known as Detonator, with Pierce Brosnan. One of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. It was I would rather watch Yoga Hoses on repeat for the next year than watch Detonator again. It was that bad. I'm not even going to talk about it, Gary. I'm done. Detonator is gone. Death Train is out. Then I watched Hannah, Queen of the Vampires, also known as Crypt of the Living Dead. It's a cool Spanish slow burn Hammer horror style vampires on an island movie, and a lot of fun. Very campy, very Spanish, very 70s. A lot of fun. It was very cool. Almost everyone at some point wore a turtleneck, a roll neck, So that was it. And then, of course, I've watched the two movies we'll be discussing later, White Lightning and Gator. But that was my rundown, Gary. That, as I said, it was an eclectic bunch, right?
It was a good rundown. I wish I had better than what I have, but it is what it is. I watched the new half season of Cobra Kai, which is a show I've followed, because I'm an 80s kid. I enjoy these things, and they're running out of guest stars, so it's getting kind of tame because you get 5 episodes leading up to an important thing, and then you're like, well, where'd the time go? And you start to wonder why you should care about these characters, like the one Peyton List, who I know from the Disney Channel because I've had small humans around me most of my life, and she plays like the bad girl, karate girl, and she's wearing so much fucking makeup, John. It's like, wow, how am I supposed to believe you're badass with all the fucking foundation and lipstick on?
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying beat her up, but like put some dirt on her cheek or something, man. It was just do something. It's odd.
Gary Hill's one sentence review for Cobra Kai Part 5. Put some dirt on her cheek, man.
Put some dirt on Peyton's cheek, man.
That's a great line. I'm going to use that more often. Put some dirt on her cheek, man. She's too pretty.
She's too pretty, man. But yeah, they're getting older, and you can tell. Every time I see Machio, like a convention, he looks like he's about 75. He's slept in about 2 days. But
Yeah.
nice enough guy, you know. But yeah, Lightning Boy has gotten older, and he's still doing his thing. I love when Marty Kobe does his thing and anything. And I'm hoping in the next part of the season, because, you know, spoilers, he's gone back to Cobra Kai again. But I'm waiting to see Marty Kobe in a fight at some point in the following half season. Before it's over, I want to see Marty Kobe fight somebody, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Although judging on his performance in the celebrity dance tournament, whatever that was, what is that show called over here?
Dance with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, that's it. So considering his performance on Dancing with the Stars, I don't know if he's got it in him to move his limbs in much of a fluid way, to be honest. He's stiff as a fucking board on that show.
Somehow I missed that. I watched when Gutenberg was on there, but I missed Martin Kobe somehow. So that's just,
it was during the time where I was sort of watching stuff like that. I've long since given it up. Yeah, I like Cobra Kai. I forget. My trouble is I forget what happened in the last season, and then when a new season shows up, I'm like, I don't want to have to watch the old season, you know. So, and I don't even know if I finished the last season, to be honest. But I like it, and I'll get back to it, and I'll finish it up. I just think that if you're gonna go out and you need some cameos, just grab some Cynthia Rothrock, Don the Dragon Wilson, Mark Dacascos, Gary Daniels, get a Jeff Speakman in there. Just start filling it up with the martial artists that time forgot.
I mean, you get Jackie, you know, and the film project they're working on, Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio together.
Well,
You know,
Jackie Chan was in the reboot, right? With Will Smith's kid, right?
I'm not sure if it's connected or directly or what it is, but, you know, bring him in, twist it up and have Jackie come in and do something. I would love to see that.
Have Jackie Chan and what's her name? Oh my God, I had her name earlier and then I've forgotten it again. Gary, what is it with me and names? She was in Karate Kid 4, The New Beginning, or whatever it was called.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank, that's it. Get Hilary Swank back in, pay her whatever she wants. Get Jackie Chan in, get Will Smith's kid in. Get everyone in. Bring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd in as traveling through time, and they travel into the Cobra Kai years.
I had to go back in my brain here, but I recall there was this douchebag actor who did not know his name, but he played like a douchebag and everything, who was in the next Karate Kid, but was also in Showdown with Billy Blanks and Patrick Kilpatrick, one of the best Karate Kid reduxes that ever existed, by the way.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know about Showdown.
Also, you could get Chuck Norris in there because he did Sidekicks. Now, understand that in Sidekicks, Chuck Norris is something of a ghost, but still, you could bring him in.
Something of a ghost.
Well, isn't he like the Mr. Miyagi character, but he's a ghost? Only the kid can see him. No one else can see him.
He has imaginary fantasies that are just rehashed of Chuck Norris films. Like I think he shows up missing in action fantasy, and
but isn't Sidekicks like the closest he did to a Karate Kid type film? I think.
Yeah, but he shows up at the end, and I like to think the end of Sidekicks is him saying, "I just wander around conventions looking for kids that are inspired by me, and then go join their karate team, just in case I want to beat the shit out of Joe Piscopo." You know,
right. But you could get Norris in a season and tie that in. Just say Sidekicks, and you could get the Three Little Ninjas or Surf Ninjas, or like just get them all in, dude. Yep. What if the end of Cobra Kai was like an Avengers Endgame type scenario where every single anyone to do with anything martial arts, even adjacent in the 1980s, like comes out of a portal and joins up. Like you've got the surf ninjas and the surf Nazis and the surf ninjas and the three little ninjas, and you've got American Ninja. You just all of them, just they all start. Sho Kosugi shows up. Kane Kosugi shows up.
If we had half of that, I'd be more satisfied than what I've seen so far.
Yeah, right.
For that season, to just put Ernie Reyes Jr. and Senior he's still alive in there.
Right? Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr. That's what we should be talking
tomorrow,
about.
The surf episode comes out of Sin Beef. As we're recording this, I talk about in there about why Surf Ninjas is so great. I know it's corny as fuck, but you get to see Ernie Reyes Sr. and Jr. do shit together in that movie. You never got to see that. That's what makes it so special. You know.
But can you imagine that? Just the camera just pans down a beach, and it's just every single 80s and 90s action icon, big or small, just in a line, just ready to fucking kick some ass. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be amazing?
And there's Gary Daniels standing there. Yeah. Now we're talking about martial arts, you know.
Yeah, Gary Daniels is like, you can interview me, but you can't talk about martial arts or 80s and 90s action films. Well then, Gary, I've no interest in ever talking to you because that's the only two things I fucking care about.
It'll be the taking of Cobra Kai. And yes, Ken Wall will show up in the episode because he did like one action thing and, you know, should have done more because, you know, the taking of Beverly Hills, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make a fake gas leak in Beverly Hills.
Wait, didn't Ken Wall do the soldier for Glickenhaus? Yes.
It does suck. Yes.
And he's in Treasure of the Yankee Zephyr with Donald the King Pleasance.
Oh gosh. I gotta look this up now, see.
dude, Treasure of the Yankee Zephyr. I tell every one of my friends to watch this movie. It is the greatest movie you've never heard of all time. They dangled Donald Pleasance out of a helicopter holding a giant net because they're deer hunting from a helicopter upside down with a giant net. He then throws a net over him and Donald Pleasance wrestles a deer. Later on in the movie, Donald Pleasance gets drunk and chainsaws a bar in half. I'm not even exaggerating. He puts a chainsaw in the wall of this Australian bar and just chainsaws it in half. That's like within the first 20 minutes. Later in the movie, a bunch of mountain men come to Donald Pleasance's rescue and build him a tank out of old scrap parts that they've found on the hills. And they all live like fucking mountain men. It's, dude, Treasure or Race for the Yankee Zephyr or Treasure of the Yankee Zephyr, it is always a good time. Up, down, left, right. It is a good time any which way you slice it. George Peppard from the A-Team plays an effeminate British poacher.
And here I am thinking that the best Pleasance moment ever is when he turns into a fucking pig man at the end of American Rickshaw. But you know
that's another classic.
It's still pretty good though. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Nothing Underneath? The movie he did where like I think models are being killed or whatever in Italy, and he runs out of a bodega in a town square in Italy and runs out into the street going, "I'm gonna get you, you bastard! Like that. It's the best. It's just like Pleasance like fucking shitting himself and just screaming bastard in a town square in Italy. It's my favorite fucking thing ever. Pleasance is the gift that keeps on giving, Gary. Everyone needs to get on the Pleasance train. It's the only thing that's gonna get us through the next fucking millennia.
Oh my gosh. Hope you guys are taking notes, listeners. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? But what else did I watch? I watched one of the best white savior films that ever existed, On Deadly Ground, with the patron saint Steven Seagal.
His flappy hands save every race, Johnny.
He wanted that speech to be longer than that movie. I guess that's what I heard.
I care about the environments. And then I go to fucking, he cares so much about the environment and then he pals around with Putin. That makes a lot of fucking sense, you fucking meat-headed, knit-haired fucking waste of Komodos.
If you haven't seen it, this is the film in which he plays a stooge for an oil company in Alaska, run by Michael Caine, who has spray on hair in this movie. I guess the oil that he produces.
Well, Michael Caine was like, if Steven is going to have fake hair, I'm also going to have bloody fake hair. So he just sprayed on his hair is what happened. I'm making my dogs go crazy. They can hear me shouting.
Hey, babies. Oh, and then, yeah, he gets betrayed by Caine and literally goes to have a vision quest with the indigenous people and becomes a native himself. And then,
Yeah.
lots of squibs and violence and, blowing stuff up. And
Well, along with claiming that he's also African American, Russian, Jewish, Polish, New Yorker, Detroiter, Creole, along with claiming that he is all Japanese and Tibetan. He's also a Buddhist Tibetan, like long lost Lama or something. Along with being all of these things, he also claims to be indigenous. He claims to be part Native American. So you can't pin Seagal down to any race, ethnicity, or apparently level of sanity.
he might be the world's biggest Aborigine too. This right here, from
Yeah, right. I'm from New Zealand, Johnny. Oh no, wait, that's the Kiwis. Sorry, I'm from Australia's, Johnny. I'm an Aboriginals.
Oh, so good.
I'm an Aboriginals.
I watch stuff like that though. I just remind myself, like, yeah, I'm into stuff that's kind of stupid, but I that was still prime Seagal back in those days. It was towards the end of Seagal, but yeah, good a good turn your brain off time. I would say.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, you can't knock early Seagal. Early Seagal, like physically fit Seagal. He genuinely made some fucking entertaining movies.
Flapping his hands the whole way.
Flap my hands, Johnny.
Yeah, there's other stuff too. I can't think of it right off the top of my head though, but I'm bad about that. I did watch Little Shop of Horrors and A Bucket of Blood for my buddy Lee Russell's podcast. It's out now. They Must Be Destroyed on Site podcast. He's been doing Corman jams for I think a couple months now. He's just doing Corman stuff.
Dick Miller, Bucket of Blood, classic.
It's very fun. He doesn't have another cat apparently. He just he's putting clay around things and it's good cinema though. It's Bucket of Blood. I never seen the original Little Shop of Horrors, so I always have the musical to compare it to.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Considering it was made in like 3 days. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's no Jim Wynorski, but it's close.
Yeah.
He's the other 3-day wizard who makes all these movies in 3 days.
Just abusing the crew, old Jim Wynorski. Oh my god. I'm here though. Yeah, that's about it for me. There's other stuff too, but I can't really think of it right now.
I watched to get prepared for Deadpool and Wolverine. I watched both seasons of Loki.
Nice. Did I? I didn't get to the second season.
The second season is basically one big movie chopped up into 5 bits or whatever.
Gotcha.
But it's very well done. Very well done.
Cool. Who's on there? With Neil and I. And Richard.
Richard E. Grant.
There you go. He was on there. I know that for sure.
He was in the first. He was at the end of the first series.
Okay. Yeah. Tonight we're going to talk about some backwoods Burt Reynolds.
Burton Leon Reynolds.
Burton Leon Reynolds. Once upon a time, in the I'm guessing somewhere in Louisiana, somewhere in the swamping area, there was a legend. That was Gator McKlusky, and we're going to talk about both the films that he's featured in, being White Lightning and the titular title character of Gator in the sequel. Yeah.
One with one sans mustache, one with mustache. You get both Burts with both barrels.
Burts. Yes, indeed. Both barrels, man. And now I'm thinking about freaking Jerry Reed's scattergun in the second film. We'll talk about that.
That little miniature shotgun thing. Oh,
just mean.
Vicious. But yeah, we'll get on to that. We start with White Lightning from 1973.
Yep. And you'll get that right after the trailer.
My name's Gator McKlusky. You know why I'm here, don't you? I said you know why I'm here, don't you?
Burt Reynolds is Gator McKlusky. He's a booze running, motor gunning, law breaking, love making rebel. He hits the screen like a bolt of white lightning. Whether he's racing the law,
Gonna be in trouble now.
or chasing the ladies,
I don't believe in fooling around none. You want it, just say so.
Gator's the fastest thing alive.
Ooh, now I know why they call you Gator.
Only two things in the world I'm scared of. What's that? Women and the police.
He's got a score to settle with the Bogan County Sheriff.
But no sheriff is gonna kill any brother of mine. Maybe you better come with us then, huh?
He's a damn tough cookie. He run Bogan County.
I'm gonna get mean, Harvey.
Go and get that sheriff, man. You'll have to kill him.
And he means to do it one way or another.
All units, got a man heading up to Jackson Road. Cut him off.
Burt Reynolds is white lightning. He never strikes twice, because once is enough.
But yes, so this is it's Burton Leon Reynolds versus Ned Beatty. So his Deliverance co-star, who had one of the worst scenes to ever have to act out on screen, I think, when we think about the squealing like a pig scene. I mean, can you imagine being around Burt Reynolds with his kind of sense of humor when that scene's being filmed? I can't imagine it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
But he stayed good pals with Ned Beatty, and he got him in this movie as the antagonist, right?
Burt just laying by the river with his broken leg and not paying attention to nothing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing, Burt? I'm out of the movie right now. What do you want? You know.
But yeah, him and Beatty back together again in White Lightning. Beatty plays the shithole sheriff who kills Gator McKlusky's brother and his brother's friend in a pretty horrible way. By also a very time-consuming way, Gary. The way considering he's the sheriff and he could have just shot them both in the face and disposed of the bodies, he rows them all the way out, tied by their hands, their feet, and then blindfolded and gagged. Rows them all the way out to the bayou somewhere, some deep swampland somewhere, and then shoots a couple of holes in their boat so that they drown. It's got to be the most long, cumbersome, time-consuming, and potential for getting caught. Like, oh, what's the sheriff doing in a rowboat, pulling two guys bound, gagged, and whatever?
Somebody gonna see something, you know.
Right?
Let me give you the credentials on this picture real fast.
Yeah,
We're talking about White Lightning from 1973 already, man. This is already getting good. If you don't know the plot synopsis of this, an ex-con teams up with federal agents to help them with the breaking up a moonshine ring. This, of course, stars a mustacheless but still very sideburns Burt Reynolds. Ned Beatty, as mentioned, as our sheriff and J.C. Connors. Bo Hopkins, more royalty as Roy Boone.
Yes, Bo Hop.
Matt Clark as Dude Watson. Louise Latham as Martha Culpepper. I've seen her and stuff. Diane Ladd, of course, I've seen and stuff as Maggie. Archie Armstrong, the patron saint of being Clint Howard's buddy in Evil Speak and other things.
Not a fan of Ladd was Reynolds. They did not see eye to eye.
I bet, man. As Big Bear, and Jennifer Billingsley, who I just watched a film with her in it. Lady in a Cage. I didn't mention this, but it's a great film. It's James Caan's debut. She's in this movie where her and James Caan and a Hispanic guy I've seen in 50 Things are terrorizing Olivia de Havilland in her house elevator because she's crippled apparently. And it's a great film. She should have been this as what's the guy's name again? Yeah, Bo Hawkins, Roy Boone's young lady in this movie.
Not for long though.
Not for long. Yeah, because he's so fucking smooth, that Gator. Let me tell you, man.
Yeah, Gator is just like, are you gonna marry her? No. Well, then I'm gonna fuck her.
Yeah.
He just lays it on the line in a grocery store. He's like, "You gonna marry her?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" That's what I thought. I'm gonna fuck her. Because he's Gator McKlusky, man. He's a bit of a rogue, but he's also got a heart of gold.
This is directed by Joseph Sargent, who gave us, speaking of good old Michael Caine, named after a sandwich in Jaws: The Revenge. Directed by Joseph Sargent. Taking of Pelham 123, the OG one with Robert Shaw, and an underrated anthology film called Nightmares, which includes who's fighting? Is it Richard Mazer fighting something inside of a wall? And of course, one of the best anthology stories ever, the Bishop of Battle with good old Emilio Estevez fighting against a video game, as in the Nightmares movie. Pretty cool career Joseph Sargent had, but this film, if you didn't know, from our conversations, Burt Reynolds is in a day prison, working on cars, and finds that his brother was killed, who was apparently the only educated person in the McKlusky clan ever existed.
Yeah.
Gets loose, is gonna go find the evil sheriff played by Ned Beatty, who is implicated in the murder of his brother, because you see it right at the beginning of the film in that elongated death boat murder scene, which somebody in the bayou saw his ass. That's all I'll say about that.
But I have to say, it does. If you want a death scene that makes you go, "Oh, BT means business," they do it pretty well. You know what I mean? Like it's a shocking enough death that you go, "Oh shit, Ned Beatty." Like otherwise, you might look at Ned Beatty as something of a joke. You know what I mean? Like the typical kind of roly-poly, full of himself sheriff kind of thing. You know what I mean?
But even then, he still has these two young people, because they're hippies in the wrong county.
Yeah.
Find this out. Tied to cinder blocks inside of a boat, and he just cowardly shoots the boat. He's still this meek little fucker who don't know shit.
Right, but it makes you think. It makes you think he's not going to be just a joke. You know what I mean? It makes you think that he means business. He's not above killing mothers, and he owns the bayou right now, or that is until he meets Gator McKlusky.
Oh yeah, because you need that in your life. Yes.
Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do. You need a bit of Gator in your life.
So, John, in the redneck exploitation love, there's a lot of films that beget, Smoking the Bandit. This is one of those, living in the redneck exploitation genre. How'd you enjoy this one this time around? So there's been a lot of films in the redneck exploitation genre that probably begat Smoking the Bandit, and they made a whole bunch. What do you think of White Lightning, or where does it fall in that bunch?
Well, I think White Lightning's a really interesting movie. In fact, both of them are, White Lightning and Gator, because they are both, from a storyline perspective, kind of archetypes, like storylines that would sort of become pretty frequent in the 80s and 90s action genre. whether it's, revenge for the loss of a sibling, like Get Carter or like White Lightning, or whether it, so it's a sort of a revenge thing, or whether it's as it is in Gator. As it is in Gator, where it's more sort of like the Taxi Driver Mona Lisa sort of thing, where it's, the guy goes to the seedy underbelly and doesn't like what he sees. And both of those sort of storylines have played out throughout action films post this. But in these movies, all that is to say that in these movies, you see them figuring stuff out. Like, you see them figuring out the pacing, or how long an action sequence should be, or how to start doing more car stunts, or you just sort of see this sort of embryonic sort of state, if that makes sense, in terms of sort of action movie history. In terms of sort of 70s cinema, it's, it's sort of as most kind of genre film that the 70s gets, because there aren't a lot of purely genre film in the 70s, because it's the decade that, Scorsese and Coppola and all these guys started to come around. So movies like White Lightning and stuff, they're the popcorn movies, but they're the popcorn movies of the 70s. So they still have plenty of, angst and questionable morals and questionable opinions and ridiculous clothing and ideals of machismo, all that kind of stuff. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Or did I just say a lot of crap?
I gotta let you go, John. In that sense, But I do agree. It kind of sets up, because there wasn't a whole lot of films, like this where it was more fun, like playful with it. Although this one had like real stakes, because he's out for revenge in this one. Whereas in Gator, he's working for the federales to go after an old friend, which it feels like. Have you watched TV show Justified?
Yeah. Or I know of it. Yeah.
I didn't make the analogy until now, but Marshall Raylan Gibbons was from the hollers of Kentucky. He's forced to go back there, but starts to fall back into it with his old buddies again. This is very similar in that sense. The first film and the second film, Gator falls back in with his old buddies, whether he wants to or not. And this one is a lot more grittier than the next film. I do enjoy a time with Burt and his magical sideburns, as he's making his way to moonshine running and not moonshine running. Meanwhile, pissing off the necessary and unnecessary people. There's a great scene of the film where somebody sees Burt coming, and I will find the person's name now, the character name. Oh, he goes to Dude Watson's house, to get information, and he has a great action sequence where Dude's trying to break a shotgun on old Gator, and Gator, of course, has the drop on him, because as Burt always does, and everybody knows everything, but he's gonna get what he needs to know so he can go find who offed his brother. And
yeah, it's sort of the redneck Get Carter.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, you're not wrong about that, except without nobody finger banging themselves into a telephone, which you need that in most movies.
No, instead in this movie you just get like Bo Hopkins's lady friend is just eye banging Reynolds from the first moment she sees him. And he's giving it right back, while also trying to maintain some level of like nonchalant cool. He has the best line when he's talking about writing in his little book the story of his life, and she says something along the lines of "Am I in it?" And he says, "You're working hard to be," or something like that, right? Isn't that the line?
Yeah. He's gonna make her a memory for sure. By. But just plowing down good old Roy's girl right there.
Yeah, but there's no morals about it at all. He's just like, they're just, we're thick as thieves, so I'm just gonna bang your wife. And his wife is up for it. His wife is just like, what he doesn't know won't hurt him kind of thing. Let's get it on. She's the one who's just taking her clothes off and jumping in the lake with old Reynolds.
Yeah, because you're in them swinging 70s. They were all free back in those days, right?
Right. Well, the thing is, it would be hilarious if if the first half of the movie Reynolds didn't have a mustache, and then after the love scene, with no explanation, he just has a mustache, and for the rest of the movie, he has a mustache. That would be as if the sheer will of her lovemaking caused his mustache to sprout.
I mean, both these films, they all have those moments where they see good old Gator McKlusky and they're like, ooh, a man.
Yeah.
Even the young girls to where is this the one where he gets roughed up by our sheriff, and he gets rehabilitated by I'm guessing some kind of girl's house. I don't think it was a brothel or anything. But
no,
even the young girl,
it's a house run by nuns for unwed mothers.
Yes.
Which is hilarious because on no plane of existence do the Catholics care about unwed mothers. But anyway.
well, they're hippie Catholics, so they're hippie Catholics.
Yeah, right.
So they allow cribs to be outside, which seemed like terrible anyway.
Yeah, but
like,
all these with child mothers are just all up in McKlusky's grill. I'd forgotten that scene, but it's like fucking Castle Anthrax in Holy Grail. They're all desperate for it.
That one awkward looking girl. I don't want to call her awkward looking, but she's the one with the glasses.
Yeah,
she's like, I want to know what this guy's all about. like they learn nothing from these women taking them in to this very Catholic, house of mothers. Like, you know what? I want to get in that guy's pants. I'm like 16 years old.
They've learned nothing. That's hilarious. I didn't even think of it like that, but you're so right, Gary, that they've learned nothing. They've been here with these kindly nuns who have brought them in, much against their own religion and much against their own will. They've brought them in. They've looked after them. They've even, in some cases, brought the babies to term and found good homes for those children. And this girl is just like, fuck all that. It's Burt Reynolds.
Ooh, man. Come on now,
And even if I am with child, I just assume he has a pregnant woman fetish, and he will screw me anyway, because he's Gator McKlusky.
See, the scam is to go up to that man when you're about 3 months pregnant, then he doesn't see your bump, right. And then, then you can snag that man. It's called a trap. You go for it,
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, unfortunately, in real life, but yeah. But yeah, these girls they're too much, man, because they're all down for helping Gator and wanting to bang Gator, although they're with child and stuff.
But it is, isn't it? It's like the pregnant version of Castle Anthrax in Holy Grail, when Michael Palin comes into the castle that's filled only with hot young 18-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And they're all like, the oral sex, the spanking, there's going to be a spanking. That's basically this scene in this movie. Gator wakes up and they all just run in, oh, there's going to be a spanking.
You do get some exposition there, when the one girl is bringing her toddler-sized baby out to its outdoor crib. See, hear all about Gator's brothers, Donnie, getting roughed up in a hotel room and then disappearing with good old Ned Beatty, our sheriff JC, and so I guess it's important this ooh, a man scene. These girls want to plow good old McKlusky. If he was a lesser Gator McKlusky, if he didn't have morals, he'd all up in these young things.
Burton said, in his contract, if I'm going to do these next two movies, then every single woman in the entire movie existence will find me inexcusably hot and attractive. And it's almost like it's just it works with Burton Leon Reynolds. I don't know that it would necessarily work with anyone else. Like, for example, Charles Bronson is another one. Old Chucky Brun. He, like, every movie, women are just inexcusably wet for Charles Bronson. Even when he's long into his 70s and the guy can barely see through his squinty face. And
So I'm 72, right? I need a 22-year-old model to be my wife.
And have them find me inexcusably attractive. Oh man, Chucky Brun, he knew how to handle the ladies, as does Burton Leon Reynolds. He is the skankiest, sleaziest moonshiner to ever shine a moon. He is.
Now Burton's waiting for that parade scene. So she's 10 years old, huh?
Yeah.
She has to stare at me while looking at a lollipop or something, just to, just to over-sexualize this 10-year-old kid.
It never gets that bad, but
it never gets that bad, no. But they are all after Gator's, wrinkled member at that point, and even in the most serious of exposition scenes, these girls want to fucking plow McKlusky like those business.
That should be the part 3. If he had done another one in the 80s, it should have just been called Plowing McKlusky.
He opens his own Catholic charities, house for unwed mothers, and says, "Oh, baby, that's not mine,"
They're all unwed mothers because they all fucked McKlusky.
The baby's born bare except with sideburns. He still denies it. Because the Burton sideburns.
By day 3, they have a mustache. Like, it just squeezes out. He's like, they're not all my kids. And they hold them up in court. They're all just fucking miniature Burt Reynolds, right?
Oh, gosh. We gotta get reminded of the gunnery here for a second, I guess. I'd say the stunts in these films are about equal as far as, like, when you do get stunts, because you get like a good 5 to 8 minute car chase scene at the end of this movie, but before our good sheriff drowns in a lake, if you will,
Yeah.
which is very unceremoniously taken out, in a way.
But the thing about this movie is that, unlike its sequel, this movie follows the, exploitation rule of every 10 minutes have a car chase. Mm-hmm. Which the sequel doesn't. The sequel doesn't have anywhere near the same level of action. But in this one, car chase every 8 to 10 minutes, and they're entertaining Dukes of Hazzard, like, banjo music, jumping over sand dunes, driving a boat through other boats in the bayou type stuff. It's just good, fun, rollicking nonsense.
Yeah, but Beatty's henchman isn't nearly as towering as in Gator, so there's that.
No. Jerry Reed's henchman, Bones, is entirely more enormous than anyone in White Lightning. But White Lightning has some great chases, and Burt is having fun behind the wheel.
Oh yeah, driving that. I think it said it was a '71 Ford Galaxy with the clutch way up top there, which I always enjoyed. Yeah. The gear selector, the big one.
The big one. The big fella.
He don't need that stick thing. He needs a handle just to push up and down.
Just to push up and down with anger and intensity. But yeah, he's having a whale of a time behind the wheel. And there's something of a Fast and Furious franchise thing about the character of Gator, because I noticed, and this was more apparent in the second movie, because obviously the second movie had less action sequences in it. Mm-hmm. Burt Reynolds' character, Gator McKlusky, is at his best, much like Vin Diesel's Don Toretto or Dom Toretto rather, is at his best behind the wheel of a car. If he's going to fight a man, he's going to fight him while they're both in cars. And in Gator, the follow-up to White Lightning, there's a sequence where the only time he gets the better of ludicrous henchmen and grinning henchmen from Blazing Saddles, those two henchmen, the only time he gets the better of them is when he uses his car. And I suddenly went, oh, okay, so Gator is like Dominic Toretto. They are at their best inexplicably behind the wheel of a car.
Or when he rigs a bit of string to a door to outsmart said henchman, you know.
Yeah. That too, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, the end of Gator, you know, evil is punished. They have prayed in evil's honor.
The end of White Lightning, you mean?
The end of White Lightning, I mean, yeah. And I think these two films have in common is, you know, he doesn't really have a big mission in the second film, but this one is this one. And imagine the very first one is personal. Usually, it's the second one is personal, but this one is more personal, obviously. But they both have, you know, kind of Gator becoming the everyman who gives a shit in the first one about everybody and everything, whereas in Gator he kind of becomes, you know, whilst working for Jerry Reed, at the same time as kind of like becoming like a man of the people already, you know, and amongst the corrupted of our man, good old Bama.
Well, that's the thing. In the sequel, in Gator, is the story there, the personal story there is, I can't believe that my good friend is as debauched and disgusting as he is. Like, if his friend was just shaking down the odd, you know, big-time shopkeeper or something for a little bit of green, you would have gone, okay, it's not good, but it's fine. You know what I mean? But he is going after minorities. He's going after women-owned businesses. He's killing people. He's setting businesses on fire. He's, you know, got a sex and drug ring with like 15-year-old girls. Like, he is scum of the earth. So the story in the second one is a lot more, not can McKlusky, you know, betray his like moonshining ways like it is in White Lightning, but it's, you know, can McKlusky, for the right reasons, betray a friend, you know, where their bond as criminals goes back decades, you know? And I suppose that's where we're meant to find the heart in the second film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he becomes ultimately a good guy by force, because I gotta get into it though. Gator is the sequel, of course.
Burt Reynolds is Gator, and inside of 10 minutes, he's going to destroy 14 boats. He's going to wreck dozens of cars. Blow up a motel. He's going to drag a man around a parking lot and throw him off the top of his car. And just wait until you see what he does in the movie. Now, Burt Reynolds is about to be maimed, mangled, mutilated, and made mincemeat of as he takes on the crooked cops in Dunston County. Jerry Reed is the king of Dunston County.
Well, my name is Bam McCall. I don't usually come by here to make collections, but I just want to come by and say hello.
He runs the games.
I want you to check on a guy named Gator McKlusky.
He sells the girls. He owns the cops.
I'm gonna kill him.
Lauren Hutton is Aggie Maybank. She may be Gator's lady.
You charmed the shirt right off my back.
But she's her own woman.
He's got a place at the beach, and we can stay there. There's nobody out there this time of year.
Wait a minute. Who said that you could make all the decisions? Who said you could make all the decisions? I should be making the decisions. That was a good decision that you made there. Wasn't that a good one that you made there?
Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Jack Weston is the Fed. Alice Ghostly is the Finn.
I'm strangely attracted to you.
Together, they're dynamite.
Oh, my God.
Jack Weston, Lauren Hutton, Jerry Reed, Alice Ghostly, and the master of the hit, slam, bash, choke, smother, and squash. A man of stamina, strength, and boundless energy, the one and only Burt Reynolds.
Now, we know you in there. We coming to get you, Gator.
Came out 3 years later. It stars now a mustachio Burt Reynolds in this movie with the sideburns. Constant sleazebag Jack Weston as our federale, or Irving Greenfield, and very Jewish. They make it a point to say this man is Jewish like many times in this movie.
Right, even though I don't know that he is. I don't know that the actor, and I know that the actor is he's from Ohio originally, but he did live a lot of his life in New York, and was on Broadway and everything else. But in Gator, he strikes me as the least New Yorker I've ever seen on film. Like, he looks more at home in the South than any New Yorker I can imagine. Like, he's got his fucking seersucker suit on and his sweaty little fedora hat. You're just like, he looks like a southern sweaty lawyer from all those fucking TV movies with, sweaty, larger southern lawyers who are, oh, my, Miss Jessie, those ones. So, like, I just thought he was that guy. He doesn't strike me as New York at all. But anyway, sorry, Gary, I keep ruining your show.
Yeah, you're okay. You're fine. He sticks out like a bagel in a bowl of grits, as Burt says, as Gator says here,
But he does. I feel like there's a scene later on in the movie where Gator is moving through a crowd at a political rally. And so you see all these people, like he says in the making of that I watched, he goes, I loved shooting down in Georgia because you got all like authentic extras. Well, as he walks through the crowd, he sticks out way more than anybody else does. Everyone else looks exactly like the so-called New Yorker guy. McKlusky's the one who looks like a fucking, swamp hobo.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the most non-Jewish guy in the whole film. This stars Lauren Hutton as a reporter lady. Her name is Aggie Maybank in the movie. Not unnecessary because we wouldn't get the cat lady without her.
Also, she's named after her own grandmother.
There you go. Which my grandmother was called Aggie. Her name was Agnes, and they called her Aggie often. So I'm familiar with that one for sure. Yeah, the cat lady who runs the records at the courthouse.
Yeah, she's great.
It's a delightful character, yes. It's Emmeline Kavanaugh. And, of course, we have Jerry Reed reunited with Burt there, playing Ben McCall, our town, snake who just has a piece of everything in the town. He runs protection, if you will.
Named after Bo Hopkins's bully at high school.
Wow. Yeah, that's something. Taylor as Mayor McCaffrey, Mike Douglas for no reason in this movie as the governor. If the names doesn't sound familiar, just think of 70s talk shows. Think of John Lennon and Yoko Ono in a bed on his show. He's pretty iconic for the 70s. Good old Mike Douglas.
Him and Burton are friends, and he had been saying to Burt that he had always wanted to act. And when it came down to Burt directing and casting this movie, he called his old pal up and went, come on, come be in it. You know what I mean?
Be in for like 2 minutes of exposition to say, hey, we got to go get Gator so we can get Bama power,
Yeah.
Burton Gilliam shows up in this thing. You may know him from Blazing Saddles as Smiley. I thought that was him too. But who I didn't think, I thought this was Denver Pyle as good old Gator's pappy, Ned McKlusky, but it was not Uncle Jesse from Dukes of Hazzard, unfortunately. And for no reason at all, Gator had a child apparently at some point in time.
Yeah, the timeline doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't.
No.
Maybe Gator knocked up one of them young girls at the Catholic camp and said, you know what, or he just stole a baby from there, maybe. Gator's killing babies.
I totally had that thought watching the movie because I was like, wait, it can't be, Mrs. Hopkins from the first one after their dance in the lake. It can't be her. So
this has to be the answer now.
It has.
He borrowed one of the babies.
The nuns called him up. The nuns called him up and was like, "You got to take care of one of these fucking kids after that horrendous display of sexuality you put on. We haven't been able to keep the unwed mothers to themselves."
You say it's not yours, but this young child, this young girl, was born with sideburns, and you have to take her into your swampland home, and take her as one of your own.
Take her into his swampland home. Yeah, McKlusky's got some middle of the swamp cabin deluxe. Like he's got his own little slice of bayou heaven, I think, right there, right?
Yeah. I mean, it makes for a great opening scene too, because this is probably the best action sequence in any of these films, is them racing at the swamp after Gator, and just fumbling Blues Brothers style every step of the way, and to the point where old Jack Weston's boat gets turned upside down, and the whole point of the plot is for him federales to hire Gator to excuse him from the rest of his crimes, because he's already been convicted 2 times. He don't want to be a 3-time whatever. So they're gonna force him to go take on his buddy, good old Bam McCall, back in Georgia, to find out where he's corrupt for real, and go be the hero and the it's a man face of Georgia once again. Because the baby stealing got out of control.
I've so much baby, and I will steal one again. I don't think that I won't. No, so it's interesting, right? Because White Lightning, kind of barrels along because of the action sequences, but I can't say that the characters were coming through very loud and clear in the first one. The nice thing about Gator is that while there are some very impressive action sequences, and the boat chase is definitely one of them, while there is that, this movie delves entirely a lot more into the characters and into sort of McKlusky and who McKlusky is going to be sort of moving forward. And, right down to the fact that at the end, McKlusky is essentially the one, he declares his love for Lauren Hutton. And Lauren Hutton is just like, actually, I'm going back to New York. And, our anti-hero drives off into the sunset by himself, having just opened up emotionally to a woman for the first time in his entire life. He opens up and she shoots him down, and that's how this movie ends. There's some heart here, so there's some emotion. There's some pain in the Burton Hills, I think.
I mean, she must be loaded, because she has the place in New York. She has this very clear plantation home at the end of this fucking movie, because the road is super long.
Yeah, she's definitely from slave money.
She might be.
Yeah,
she might have. So we're overanalyzing way too much, but no. I fully believe that Burton Reynolds, old Gator, stole one of them babies, or was forced to take one of his progeny out of that Catholic camp.
Yeah, but I do think that what carried me through Gator, because I was sort of watching Gator and I'm like, oh, there's not much action in this, and I don't know how much I care about this, and blah 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 blah. And then somewhere between the first and second acts, I got sucked in and started to really feel the weight of that whole sequence with McKlusky and Bam Whammam, or whatever his name is.
Bam McCall.
Bam McCall, that's it. Where you just see that whole kind of montage sequence as sort of Gator is getting into the gang sort of thing and being shown the ropes. And just that slow realization on Burton's face that, oh, this goes way darker and way deeper than I want it to. I'm disgusted by this now, and I have to betray someone who I had long considered a friend. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, this is where I get the justified analysis from. Walton Goggins and Waylon Gibbons and Boyd Crowder, they were friends in Kentucky. They dug coal together. They grew up together. Same deal here. Gator comes back. He's forced to come back. He starts to see his friend. He knows he's in power of all this protection money and all this other stuff. But he was never this sleazy before. But now he's gone into the life of burning down businesses. And I gotta say, the biggest crime this film makes, but it's also one of his biggest strengths, is that they make the snowman cooler than the bandit. And I always thought this anyway, because I watch Smoking the Bandit probably 2 times a year, and Snowman's got the dog. He's got so much stuff going for him. Who does the bandit have? He has Sally Field, and that's not as cool as Fred the dog, in my opinion. It's just not, But he's just slicker than fucking Snot on a Doorknob in this film, and he plays it so well. And this is like a 1976 Burt, to where Jerry Reed shouldn't be outshining him, but he outshines him so big in this movie because he's just a piece of shit, and he's got a henchman that do nasty things for him. What does he say? What was his name again, John? I forget now. The big guy.
Oh, the big guy is Bones.
Yeah. What does he say about? But why do they call you Bones? Because I tell them to.
Yeah.
No, you should have went further and said something about because I break them or something. It should have been a much more devious line, but
yeah, but he's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
See that character with like his head on the top of the car and stuff like that because he's so big, and shit like that.
Yeah, it's this weird. Like the one thing that Gator. So the White Lightning, while they say that it's sort of like comedy, action, or whatever, it's not that funny. No. Gator, on the other hand, it veers. If there's an issue with Gator, that's also, I think, its strength, is that it veers so wildly inappropriately from top-level slapstick to, really harsh murders, like the shotgun murder of the chief guy, Jack Weston, is just the way it's filmed. I mean, we'll get onto this, but Burt Reynolds, what a fucking director. The way that sequence is filmed, and that you don't see anything, you just see the chair slam back into the wall, that was so fucking chillingly effective. Like, so chillingly effective. So, yeah, you go from, bananas sequences where this giant has his head poking out the top of a fucking Alfa Romeo, or whatever the fuck that car was, to sequences of like ultra violence where they like set fire to a lady and her cats. And you just kind of go, wow, this movie is totally bananas. Now, I happen to quite like that. I like roll with the punches when it comes to stuff like that. I also think
it does go dark pretty fast in that sense, though, is to say, you know what? Okay, I'm finally sick of Gator's shit. Let me go kill everything that he loves at this point.
It gets super dark. But then there are also sequences where, the big joke is, that he's driving through people's boats and they're, getting splashed in the face, and, it becomes sort of a Police Academy sequence or something. And then in a good way, because I love Police Academy, I believe it to be the Fast and Furious franchise of its day. And I can explain that in deeper ways. But not here, not now. But I like it. I like the wild tonal shifts. And I did come away from Gator thinking, if you put White Lightning and Gator together in terms of its balance between action and drama, there's like one really good movie in here. As it is, you get 2 average to good movies. But there is like one great movie between these 2 films, if that makes sense.
Where it was wasted, and in the same spot, I think that, the strength was that first opening swamp scene. I think if Bama chased Gator back home, to his stomping grounds there at the swamp, and they had a showdown in the swamp, do the whole thing, do fan boats and everything, do go crazy with it.
Fan boats, I fucking want to go on one of those so badly, man.
This would have been even more 1976, even more Burt, if Burt if Gator got his revenge in the swamp.
Well,
But the end was kind of lackluster in that sense because all these folks are dying. I love Bama's character, and I love how his weapon is basically a hunting scattergun that kills large animals, but he's cut it off. So the impact of that sawed off scattergun, is devastating. So you would never got it in whatever rating it got if that was a thing,
Yeah. I mean, it's brutal. And as I said, the killing of Jack Weston's character and the killing of Alice Ghostley's character, the cat lady, those were two moments where you're like, wow, for a kind of, redneck comedy or shucks kind of, boys' own adventure in the swamps of Louisiana type movie. In the midst of it, you've got some deep, dark shit, man. And that's what I love about it. And I also think that, I'm not kidding, like when you watch the first one versus the second one, Reynolds as a director is far more on par with his 70s counterparts of, Altman and Scorsese and Coppola and things like that. And I'm not exaggerating. I think there are some shots in Gator and some setups in Gator and some sequences in Gator that if edited by Thelma Shoemaker or whatever would look fucking amazing. But they still look really good.
I think the Hal Needham shot second unit on this. I think I saw that on the credits.
Yeah, he does. He does most Burt movies. Hal Needham is the Burt guy who jumps off the car and almost gets crushed by the car on the sand dune. Lands right in his fucking leg. Almost snapped it.
I mean, this is a film where, the cat lady, lovely character. You fall in love with her right away.
Yeah, you do.
This is a film where she would have lived. But this is what I appreciate about Gator is that this is a film where she does not live. She gets killed by Bama, who's a maniacal bastard. Apparently, just lost all of his wits, and is gonna burn this sweet cat lady up in her house.
Yeah, it's having killed her.
All the evidence.
Yeah, having killed her boyfriend. That was also super beautiful. Like that's what I mean is they cared about the characters in this one because. Every single character, first of all, had a character. Second of all, you fell in love with them. You found them utterly charming. Third of all, they fell in love with each other. Like, she was like, I'm strangely attracted to you and everything. And even though he was a little bit like, oh no, the crazy cat lady loves me, by the end of it, you really feel a relationship between the two of them. And then they both have to die. And it's so tragic.
Yeah, you don't think it was going to go there. Like, there's a lot of stuff in Gator because you see it feels a lot more light as far as like humorous in a way. But when you get down to the meat and potatoes of like how devious and how much snake-like that Bama is, it's like he's capable of all these things.
Well, also that you have a movie in which on one hand the henchmen are kind of cartoon characters. They're like the kind of henchmen that appear in Top Cat or something. You know what I mean? These sort of larger than life characters in some cases, much larger than life. On one hand, they're like that, and on the other hand, Burton Gilliam, who is the kind of Cheshire Cat grin, dopey cowboy from Blazing Saddles. At another point in this movie, sidles up to McKlusky and starts talking about prison rape. And you're just like, oh, on one hand, he's, the Cheshire Cat or the grinning Riddler or the Joker or whatever from Batman, harmful but fun kind of thing. And then the next minute, he's doing a fucking soliloquy on prison rape. And you're like, oh, this movie just has so many flips like that, where you're watching it going, oh, this is fun. And then the next minute, you're like, oh, my God.
I just love that it just doesn't really pull any punches like that. Just everybody's fucking sleazy. Everybody's there to be sleazy. Burt is your good guy. Gator's the good guy throughout all this, but he wasn't meant to be. He's forced to be.
Because all the bad guys are way worse than he is.
Yes. It's like he grows morals in this one. He has them in the first movie too. It's just he's willing to help a stranger in this one.
Yeah.
Whereas the last movie, White Lightning, he's more out for revenge and out for until he gets his revenge, and then after that.
But then he steals a baby.
He steals a baby. It takes it for awkward spins in the swamp.
No, wait a minute. I don't know. Does he steal a baby or does the nun force him to take a baby?
Oh, I fully believe he knocked up at least 2 of those girls with on the sideburns alone. Just turn his head, maybe they're bored with it. Maybe they got birds. Maybe they got Gator's DNA in them. So he got
maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's McKlusky lean. Yeah.
So he had to take one of them and put some smarts on that kid because she ain't going to school, but she's reading in the swamping area
with a grandpappy. No, it was a beautiful thing, but I felt for him at the end where he says to Lauren Hutton, like, I love you. And this is before the famous line in Star Wars where Harrison Ford would said to Princess Leia, I know, when she says, I love you. Mm-hmm. He says, I know. This happens to Gator, to our hero. It's not our hero being cool and tossing the woman aside with nary a care. This is our hero, heart out on his sleeve, bare for all to see, declaring his undying love for Gappy Hutton and declaring his love for Lauren Hutton, and she just tosses him to the curb like he isn't the studliest man in all of Studsville.
She doesn't know that he has unwed teenage mothers out. We're going to keep on going back to this analogy of fucking Gator stealing a baby, aren't we? Because, he has more kids than Lady Camp. He's the mother to take care of them.
Lady Camp. Is that what he calls it? He calls it Lady Camp.
He does.
That's incredible. What about that joke, dude, that he says in this movie where he says... She says he's undercover, isn't he? What agency is he with? Blah, blah, CIA, FBI. And he goes, no, he's a traveling salesman that sells lady hygiene products.
Oh.
And he says, I believe it's called scrunt, like scrubbing your...
Oh, yeah.
He says, what does he say? Yes, scrunt. He says, I bet it's called scrunt. Talking about a lady hygiene product.
Oh, that's awful.
And then he winks and finger guns. He goes like finger guns at the audience and walks away. That's a Gator one-liner right there. He's just like, yeah. He shoves brushes up your vaginas and then he walks away. That's like a Gator joke.
Gator's telling you to go clean your plumbing before the sideburns get all up in you. Okay,
you got McKlusky's truck likes a clean car park.
It's like your midget's clean, but is a Gator clean? Come on now.
The third part of this franchise is Burt Reynolds, gynecologist. He's just prescribing scrunt to everybody and.
God.
Listen, there are some ladies in Louisiana or Georgia, or wherever this is meant to take place. I know it was shot in Georgia. I don't know if it's meant to take place there, but I mean every lady in that area wants McKlusky, so he better clean up the plumbing.
Get that scrunt all up in you. Oh, this is fun. I've missed your company, and these are the reasons why.
Yeah, because we get to stealing babies and cleaning plumbing.
You can buy tampons with Gator's face on them. He's making a face of disapproval, on the box of a douche product.
Yeah, he does a commercial. I was just about to say he does a commercial where he goes, and you think I'm a douche, and then he slams the bottle towards the screen. Burton Leon Reynolds Jr.'s douche. Get it all up in you. The McKlusky way.
The McKlusky treatment,
He becomes really like a Dr. Kellogg type thing. Like, what's that movie with Anthony Hopkins and John Cusack and Bridget Fonda?
God.
You know the one I mean, where they go to see Kellogg's or whatever, and they all just end up boning each other. Why is that fucking? Is it called like breakfast and Cheez-Its or something? What's it called?
I don't even remember now.
I gotta look it up now. Sorry, dude. Hang on.
I'm thinking about freaking.
Welcome to Wellville.
Oh yes,
That's what it is. Welcome to Wellville. Yeah, that's where. Because didn't Burt Reynolds have a ranch? Wasn't there like a 350-acre ranch that he had that he lost in his divorce to what's her name?
I think so. Yeah, you're not wrong about this.
And I think that ranch was, something like like a lady farm, maybe. Maybe it was a lady farm, like Welcome to Wellville.
Silly.
But it's Burt Reynolds. Welcome to Burtville or whatever.
Oh my gosh, we gotta get to the end of the sucker here. Yeah, and after all this, the cat lady gets burnt up.
I know, it's so sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. And Jack Weston getting scattergunned. Evil is punished, man. The big guy, our Bones fellow, falls for the dumbest trick in the book, and I guess they turn the gas out or something. I have no idea. He ties a bit of string to the doorknob, to where when Dum Dum opens the door,
the whole fucking place blows up.
Yeah, of course he fires the scattergun and the whole place blows up. But so now Bama is without his muscle, so patron saint of unwed teenage mothers, Burt Reynolds, goes to get Bama's comeuppance because the title of the film is called Gator at the end of the day. So,
but also again, right when he's fighting with the big bad, the final villain, the evil, almost his evil counterpart. It's almost like the whole Iron Man 2 thing, where like both villains are essentially evil versions of each other, kind of thing. And, with Bama being the evil version of McKlusky, you know what I mean? Who went the wrong side of the tracks. And during that fight, they can't help but doing the old, like, crashing through one side of, like, a beach countertop, like a little beach booth storefront kind of thing. They crash through one side, you hear two comical-style punch noises, and then they fall out the other side covered in soft toys and things, plushies and stuff.
just ruining public property there,
Yeah, someone's like been trying to get a booth on the boardwalk for decades. They finally won the lottery, and then fucking Gator and Bama are just throwing each other through their fucking private property.
Oh, there's so much to go on, and yeah, it's so strange that because once he's without his muscle, he just becomes exponentially weaker because he doesn't have a scattergun anymore either because that got blown up with fucking Bones.
Yeah.
Inside the hotel room,
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a tussle on the boardwalk there and just ruin public property.
Yeah. But you're right. It's anticlimactic. I would have liked to have seen them like beat the hell out of each other, but be able to jump into boats and then ride those boats back to the swamps.
Go back to the swamp. I would love it.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I think we come at it from knowing the next 2 decades are going to explode action films in a way that we've never seen before. Not since the dawn of the Western have we had such an explosion of one particular genre. And, right down to the fact that we got surf ninjas, we went all the way to surf ninjas. The inevitable conclusion was reached.
The obvious, I think, is the end. The chase back to Gator swamp house, and all of his youngins that he's sired over the years are just waiting for him with bows and arrows and shit, ready to take out and get old Bama there,
Yeah, some not Lost Boys, the boys. What are they called in Peter Pan? Aren't they the Lost Boys?
The Lost Boys, yeah.
They are the Lost Boys as well, right?
Yeah. They're called Lost Boys, yes, in Peter Pan.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, just all of Burt Reynolds' Lost Boys just, like, come out of the...
It's like the scene in Dewey Cox where all of his kids just start showing up. He has, like, a big house for them all to live in now,
Yeah.
Having a catch, and then all of a sudden it's an Indian kid. It's like, damn, are you my man? Yeah.
Oh, man, Dewey Cox was... See, if there was any justice in the world, that movie would have been fucking huge. I wish that movie had just fucking blown up.
That's so good.
It's so good. But yeah, no, unfortunately we get a bit of a lackluster ending because Burt wants to focus on the love story, and ending that and having Gator kind of ride off into the sunset a free man. And so because of that, we kind of get this emotional thing. And I think what it teaches us about Burt Reynolds, and I think I've heard this throughout his career, where on sometimes he's, considered to be a surly, aggressive asshole, and other times he's a total sweetheart and, funny and friendly and weird and wacky. And I think that this is the dichotomy that we see fighting within Burt Reynolds throughout his life. And that is, I am a tough guy. I want to play the tough guy. I like how playing the tough guy makes me feel, but this isn't really me. I'm an artist. I'm emotional. I'm a softie. Because Gator is not made by a all-shining machismo man. Gator has too much emotional weight to it. Gator has too much disdain with certain, criminal practices and stuff. It has too much of an opinion to be not coming from an artist. And therefore I found it fascinating that he was this well suited to be a director this early in his career. That is breathtaking. It's one of the best debuts, I think.
It certainly humbled him, as considering something he's been before. He was it's great. I mean, I love Gator for this reason, that it takes this character, this hard-nosed character who's out for revenge in the first one, and kind of humbles him in a way. It kind of makes him like the everyman that's forced into a situation, but at the end of the day, he's going to do good, even though some devastating shit happens.
The only trick they missed, and obviously this comes before Neil Jordan and Bob Hoskins' Mona Lisa. But in Mona Lisa, when Bob Hoskins has to go down into the seedy underbelly of London and the red light district in Soho in London, they get the Phil Collins song "In Too Deep" played over the montage, where it literally says in the corner, like, "In Too Deep" by Phil Collins and Genesis or whatever. And it's so sleazy because it's just, it's such a sleazy mid-'80s Collins. There's a little like synth sax in there and stuff. And it fits perfectly. The only thing Gator lacked was, as he was going through kind of Bubba's 7 Circles of Hell kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where he was realizing more and more just what he was into. It was gambling, then it was prostitution, then it's underage drug abuse, then it's, it's on and on and on. Just going down and down and down into the depths of hell. We needed a Genesis song. That's all I'm saying. We needed some Phil Collins up in that shit, is what I'm saying.
He could feel it coming in the air tonight.
Yeah. Billy, don't you lose my number. Just blaring over this. It's about 8 years too soon, but I wish in my heart of hearts that Gator came out when we could have used a Phil Collins number.
What you do get, and I will argue this is just as good as Eastbound and Down. That Ballad of Gator song.
That's great. No, I wanted to mention that. That's great. I'm so glad you brought it up.
Like a weird hip hop country twang to it. That it's irresistible. I love it.
It is an earworm of the highest order. It's fantastic. Irresistible. What a great adjective for that, man. Definitely, it was irresistible. And the moment Gator started, I'm so glad you reminded me of this. The moment Gator started, and the very now a synonymous font that is synonymous with swamp exploitation. Or down south exploitation or whatever. When that font came up with Gator, and then the Ballad of Gator started to play, I was like, "Oh, I'm in this. I'm here. I'm all for this now. I'm all over this joint like you wouldn't believe." And so I really, really enjoyed that and thought that really set up the movie great. And I was just disappointed that you didn't get to hear it again over the ending credits.
Yeah.
Instead, you got that very emotional, earnest song where Burt Reynolds was kind of going, "I've got a heart of an artist, God damn it, let me shine."
They've all them kids need a mother. Come on now.
I'm a peacock, let me fly, Captain.
I got more kids waiting for me at the swamp. Sweet. They dropped them off yesterday. Fake Uncle Jesse can't get the welfare money for all them kids. Who's claiming all these kids? Gators, He's teaching them kids survival skills. See, this film needed an Uncle Duvet, Wilford Brimley from Target.
Yeah.
Just teaching these kids how to survive in the swamp, and then, like I say, you get that end sequence where all of Gator's progeny from the women's camp are just murdering and blowing up Jerry Reed's Bam McCall's shit.
Yeah, it is. It would be like the scene in Mad Max Fury Road where Jason Statham's knocked up girlfriend and her other pregnant women are, ambushed in the middle of the desert. You could have had that at the end of this movie. It would have preceded Fury Road by like 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
You could have had all the pregnant women riding out on horseback with crossbows and big axes, flinging them about.
They're all knocked up looking for Gator. Have you seen Gator McKlusky? He ain't claiming it's his kids, but I seen them sideburns and I had a feeling down in my tummy. Let me tell you.
Every single hospital in like a 300-mile radius, every so often you just hear screamed at the top of the lungs from one of the women, McKlusky, when she's handed a baby with enormous sideburns. You hear him snapping the gum all the way. And then it all goes back to the sideburns, people. I don't apologize. I don't apologize for any of this, Yeah, if that was a Gator TV show, that's what it would be every week. It would just start with a pregnant mother giving birth, seeing the baby has enormous sideburns, and going, McKlusky! And then the credits would... the opening credits.
It'll be like the Incredible Hulk in that sense. He'll be the Bill Bixby who goes from town to town just finding all of his children.
That's the plot. That's the Gator TV show. And every show starts exactly the same. It has the outside shot of a hospital. It has a different like Midwestern town, like so-and-so Illinois or so-and-so Iowa, or whatever, right? But it's exactly the same shot of a hospital. It just has a different town name underneath each one. It zooms into the hospital. It cuts to a woman having just given birth. They hand the baby to her. The baby has huge sideburns. She looks at the camera and goes, McKlusky! And then it starts with like hobo Burt Reynolds driving through the countryside with more and more babies in the back of the car. Like by the end of the movie, end of the credit sequence, he's got 50 offspring.
He's got to grow a big beard and wear a cowboy hat, like Neil Diamond, the jazz singer, another big promiscuous baby ditcher in that movie. Just
promiscuous baby ditcher. Oh, that's the name of my next album. Promiscuous baby ditcher. That's amazing, Gary. You are a legend, sir.
Oh my gosh. No, you are, sir. This conversation would not work without you here, man. Trust me.
Now I just wish we'd got the Gator TV show.
It's not too late. They're remaking everything. Why not Gator? Come on now,
Yeah, Ryan Gosling is Gator in McKlusky. It's a peak. It's an HBO
he's on every
show.
other episode of Maury Povich, just picking out his kids.
This week. Oh, we've heard that we've now got a cousin over in so-and-so Nebraska. Off they go. Banjo's playing. Dang, ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
And then the ghost of Jerry Reed comes back and produced a new song called "I've Never Been to Poughkeepsie," all about Burt Reynolds. Oh God, I'm done.
I've got so many babies, and they all live within a 300-mile radius. Hit it, Jerry.
Oh, this has been fun, man. I think this is where we end the conversation about good old McKlusky. We have done him justice, I think.
We have, and I think Burt Reynolds himself would be very happy with how we've gone. As I say, I think I did prefer the second one, although the car chases in the first one do make it legendary, as does the pairing of Reynolds and Beatty yet again. It's a delectable pairing, but I think that what's his name in part two We've got to go back. Jack Weston. I think he is a good Beatty substitute for what he needs to be, kind of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But Gator is probably my favorite of the two. And as a debut directorial film for Burt Reynolds, huge applause. Should have been nominated and won an Oscar. And
the better villain in Ben McCall really elevates Gator in my opinion too. Just the lack of action sequences, but you add the Bama Jerry Reed sleaze to that, I think it elevates it above the other one for that reason.
And I think that you really see I always think about the scene where they drug McKlusky and the fact that even after he's passed out and even after he's insulted Bones, Bama is like, no, don't hurt him. Do not hurt him. Take him to the state line, leave him in the car, but do not hurt him. And he says it 2 or 3 times. And I think that's where I understood the emotional heart of the movie. Both of these guys feel bad about what's coming and what they must do. And they don't want to, but they know they will.
Again, go watch Justified, John. It's 5 seasons of a show that I think you'll love because it has a lot of these same themes in here. It even gets a little silly, but it's not this silly to where you have a cavalcade of proper Southern villains on that show. I remember watching the Emmys for good old Margot Martindale. She was the villain of the 2nd season of the show. I was rooting for her to win, and she won. I was like, yeah, because she was spectacularly heinous.
Martindale is a legend. Martindale is a legend, an untouchable legend. She's phenomenal in everything she's in.
Go watch that show. I don't think you'll regret your time with it. But yeah, great time talking about these films. I again, if X was here, this would be a 5-hour episode just analyzing everything. Backwoods Burt, Yeah.
But and it also feels very apt because, as I said, this is the 13th year of my podcast. I think about all the time the guys that I started out with or the guys that inspired me to get started. And one of the names that comes up time and time again in my story is Profondo Cinema, Jay Scott and Axel over at that show. And the fact that they introduced me to a lot of these 70s Burt films through their Burt Alert episodes that they used to do. And so it feels really nice on the 13th birthday to be talking about movies that I really came to know and love based on Profondo Cinema.
Yeah, those are some old school guys for sure right there, Oh my gosh. But John, this is the end of this one as far as a review goes. You have stuff going on. I'm sure you have another album or 2 coming out in the next year. If you have that going on, you always have something going on Bandcamp. And I think you have a Patreon too for the diner.
I do.
Let us know all your information right now, but lay it out for us.
Yeah, sure. So aftermoviediner.com is the hub of all of the things. I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/aftermoviediner. And if you stumble over After Movie and Diner all in a line on the interwebs anywhere, it's me. I couldn't actually believe that title didn't exist before me, but it didn't. So pretty much anywhere where those 3 words appear, that's me. Always looking for support on Patreon or rating and reviews. And if you've liked tonight's conversation, it's much the same as what I do on my show. Oh, and I do have an album coming out. Sorry, Gary.
Yes,
I have an album coming out Bandcamp Friday, September. So the first Friday in September will be my next album coming out.
And that is Miscellaneous Plumbing Fixtures.
Miscellaneous Plumbing Fixtures, but I don't know what it's going to be called yet.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, wait for that. Go. Bandcamp's a great place to go support starving artists and help them out and get their names out there. This man has not 1, but 2 albums about Donald Pleasance. So you guys should listen to all that stuff for sure. And,
and an album called Songs About Them What Make Movies, which includes a Jason Statham song, a Rutger Hauer song, a Cynthia Rothrock song. So
I have this. I'm gonna get this tonight. I'm gonna listen to it at work. I didn't know this was a thing.
It's on Spotify. You can listen to it on Spotify.
Cool, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all good. Anyway, thanks for giving me this wonderful time. I've enjoyed chowing the air with you, sir, and I will come back and do it anytime that I have a free evening.
Yeah, I have stuff coming. Legion Patreon, please go support that. That's everybody's thing. Next episode you should hear, I have no idea what it is. Like, I'm playing it by ear because I have stuff that was recorded that I have not edited yet. I'll get it in your ears at some point in time. Next week we record officially as a Cinema Beef together, doing The Wizard and searching for Bobby Fischer. Very not Burt films, but very good films nonetheless, about child prodigies doing their thing and
not being stolen by Gator McKlusky.
Not being sired by Gator McKlusky, because I'm not saying they're built for failure, but they're built for moonshining and such, and life's a crime perhaps. And
moonshining and such. That's what. That's going to be the name of my new album, September 5th or whatever. The first Friday of September is going to be called Moonshining and Such.
Moonshine and such. The such is siring young girls at women's camps. It just keeps coming back to that. But this is the end. John, I'll say this 1,000 times. I love our time together. It's special every time, man. And I've met this man. I've embraced this man as men, and he's just a great guy to hang out with. I love you, John. It's amazing.
I love you too, Gary. And I thank you so much for always supporting and letting me come on your show once in a while. And just hanging out with us online whenever we do like a live stream or whatever. You're always watching, come on, support, you comment, you share. You're the best, man. And, you gave me the magical ukulele from which all good things flow. It hangs on my wall within eyeshot of my work desk, so in pole position. So it's the best gift anyone's ever given me, will ever give me. It came at a time in my life when I needed it. So thanks as always, brother. And I'll keep sending you Laserdiscs from time to time.
In case you don't know, I gave John this ukulele signed by a couple of Phantasm cast members, Reggie and Bill. Bill was the first one to tune the ukulele, by the way, Bill Thornbury. And couldn't get my camera out fast enough to view all this. But John credits me for the love of his life for some reason. I tell John, stop it, but it links him to him and Kim apparently, but
It does, because you sent it to me a week or two before I first spoke to my now wife on the phone. I mentioned what it is. I went, you won't know, but it's signed by a couple of cast members of a movie, Phantasm, that you will have never heard of. And she just went, boy, and I'm like, oh, okay. So she's the coolest woman who ever existed then.
So I love that you guys love it. I'm just bad about. I'm terrible at taking compliments. So there's that,
No, it's the best thing, brother. I mentioned you in my wedding speech.
Oh gosh.
Because then I got up and sang a song, playing that ukulele. I played that ukulele at my wedding, sir.
See, now I feel worse about it when I say, John, stop it. Yeah.
It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever, man. It's you. If there are, what I've tried to do is my be better thing, my love is a protest thing, which is basically find the little guys and share the hell out of what they're doing, whether it's podcasting, whether it's writing, whether it's music, whether it's whatever. I try and share all that stuff. I try and support small businesses, share those guys, and do random acts of kindness, because my life was changed by a random act of kindness by Mr. Gary Hill. And I only want to put good things out into the world ever since.
That's great, brother. Oh my gosh, I'm humble, but this has got to be over. This has got to end now. But
I know. I'm sorry, dude. We kept you so long.
No. This has been the Cinema Podcast with myself and Mr. John Cross. Where if you've got beef, we've got the grinder. We'll see you next time.